bring that across down here. Put my keyboard on charge for just a bit busy. Let me have a look. TikTok. I should be live. Let's have a look. I shove that under here. It's not saying I'm live yet. I should be live. Wait, okay, now it's coming up. Let me see if I can load it on my computer here. Hey, there we go. Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. If you're new here, my name is Elodie. I'm the creator of the manga Thieves, Stop and Death. As you can see, I am planning chapter 13 at the moment, so that's what we're tackling today. I've done the thumbnail traditionally in my sketchbook, so what we're essentially doing is just transferring these thumbnails onto digital. And you know, there'll be some playing around, readjusting things, probably changing dialogue and stuff. Like, a lot of this is still playing around before working on the chapters, the chapter fully. So I thought, you know, I don't think I've ever done a live stream of me doing like the preparation for me during a chapter, so I thought it'd be quite an interesting stream for some people to view today. So, you know, you guys can kind of get a gist of how my system works. Hello Maddie, how you doing? welcome. Again, it's been forever since I've live streamed, so welcome to the live stream. I don't think I've got my sketchbook anywhere with the thumbnails. I bet it's in my drawer, which is like down below where you guys are. I mean, I would grab that out, but I don't think I have easy access to it at the moment. Yeah. So we're kind of imagining that temporarily this lady's name, I haven't finalized on her name yet, but her name is Aoife, but I want to change this because it sounds too similar to the Aoife which is being brought up during the first arc. So Aoife is her temporary name here, okay? It's not her final name. I'll probably change that. It's kind of like, table down that way. Okay, it can be really crappy sketches, guys. Like, again, this is for me just to visualize how the page layouts works. It doesn't necessarily have to be amazing drawings. Because if I go here, did I write any guidance? No. Okay. I'll just do his hair fix. I definitely know that's better. Despite him having absolutely soaking wet hair at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, if you imagine that, then we can draw the rest of the bar background. So if I put this bar background, because we haven't depicted the inside of this yet, so we need to definitely show that off. And then we want a close-up of Aoife here. And she is starting to tear up in this panel. Okay, we're going super basic with the thumbnails here. I'm not worrying about proportions or anything. They're literally like stickmen in my mind. Okay, just imagine this is Aoife. I don't know what her hairstyle is. I don't know what she looks like yet. That will come later down the line. Again, I'm just going to put a note that says Aoife. I will put tearing up. Okay. If I save that, oh, I do not want that. If I save this, I'll save this page because this is the first page. Right, let me preview this. I'm just going to see how the first page flick is like. Also, if people don't know, I'm doing a flashback at the start of chapter 13 here, so it will be a lot younger Fletcher. Because I was talking about this in the Discord, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do a Fletcher flashback in this next arc. And Discord convinced me to do it. But the only time I could really do a flashback, realistically, was at the start of chapter 13. So this is what I've done. So it's going to take a while to load, isn't it? It's just reading all the data from all the pages I've sketched out. Give it a good second. Thank you so much for all the likes, folks. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. 10 years later, it will load. Again, because it's new data I'm feeding into this 3D preview, it's just going to take forever to load up. It should be quicker now, we're on the empty pages. It's slowly going, slowly going, slowly going. Because yeah, what's next in this dialogue? I really need my sketchbook. Do I have it? Oh no, I do have it next to me. I didn't put it away. There we go. Let me open this out. Some of this inside here is spoilers, so I can't show you all of this, folks. I do apologise. But I can show you my storyboards for this chapter, and you can see my previous one for my other chapters in here. That's chapter 12, chapter 13. Yeah, so Eva's chucking a drink at Fletcher. Okay, let me open the sketchbook to keep on that page. Yeah, that's a good starting point. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Whilst we're at it, we'll keep going with it. So the next page, where does that is? If you have that dull, okay, so it goes all the way to there. Okay, let me quickly plonk the text here. This is the last bit of the dialogue that I need for Eva here, so I know that's at the end of the page. And I'll probably split this up. I also need to change the is at the start because it shouldn't have an uppercase. So if I change that to is, and change that to that. And then if we bring that down up here. Thank you so much for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. Okay, I know I'm showing something, a new side of my progress here. So you get to see me do all the finicky stuff, so you guys, I don't tend to show you guys what's going on behind the scenes, usually like this. If you copy that, and then I kind of want this all split into different segments if I can. Okay. And then if you delete the repeating one there. Okay, and then we've got Fletcher's in the forest next. I think, yeah, that's easy enough. Right, and then we've got Fletcher's dialogue, which should be up here to the left, hopefully. Again, we probably want to split this into two separate speech bubbles. So let's put that like so. And we get rid of this up here. Balance this all out. Quarter does. Okay, and then this is the segment that we're missing from each at the moment. So that should go up here. Just transfer that all the way to black. Again, we need the lowercase I at the start here. So I'm just going to quickly bring this down here. Let's see how all this is. Alright, so this needs to be one section. So if I move that down. And then we can get rid of this line down here. Right, and then I think it's better if we swap this around looking at this at a second glance. So boyfriends and girlfriends, like so. We'll split that up as well. I think I might change up the come in instead of sweeping. I think she's talk a bit more casually when she's a bit more mad. Okay. Adjust all this up. Okay, and then that's the last bit of dialogue that we need. Probably something like that. Okay, so let's draw the thumbnails in. So I'm just going to put all of this lettering into one folder for a second. So this should be all the dialogue on the page. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a dynamic first panel. Where's my pen? Right, so this needs to be in black, so if we turn that to blue, so it needs to be something like this. Oh, wait, what did I write here originally? I can't see in my photograph. Oh, you can never be wrong. Oh, I see. So let's just saying this first on the right. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. I was a bit confused by my own thumbnails there for a second. Alright, so that needs to go down there. And then that needs to go here. Okay, the seam line is going down here, so it needs to go off there. Right, and then that goes down there. Oh, actually, be more like this. And then we bring that all the way down, out that way. I think it's better than partners. I mean, I do want to indicate that he's bisexual here, but it just sounds a bit clunky. I think I might have to put partners. Balancing out. This is what I hate doing, is balancing out the speech bubbles. I think it works if I do it like this. There you go. Okay. I see it. I think I got rid of his line down here because this is all on me, but because he brought that, Ethan brought that up on the last page, I think that's why I got rid of it. Yeah. I mean, I'll keep it there for now, but I might think of something better to put in there. What do you use to draw? I use a Cintiq 32. That is the device I'm using. It's by Wacom. I've had this for many years now, but I love this thing. It's fantastic. Right, okay, so if we imagine, so this needs to go over here. Okay, and she's kind of like pointing her finger at Fletcher. So something like that. Again, I'm not gonna be too on point with the anatomy or this perspective here. I just get the sense of the emotions and sort of the angle I want. Okay, this is Eva. And then we kind of want, I kind of want this to be slightly bigger. And then she kind of gets quieter over here when she speaks. So if we change this, because that's a bit too dramatic. There might be a better one we could. Oh, and I'm missing the question mark at the end here. There you go. I kind of prefer this more. And then I think actually I can probably move this like so. Okay, and then if we put in a speech bubble here, I kind of want to. And then I kind of want some shouty, trembly balloons here. Right, and then if I merge that down with that one. And then I'm just going to size that down slightly. Okay, and then we'll adjust those bubbles in a second. So bring that downwards like that. Make that slightly bigger rider. Move that upwards. And then I kind of want her slightly trembling here. So I think, I mean, we could do like the milk font, I guess. If not, then I can do soul, the font. I kind of like it with the milk though. I think it works better. If you just increase the size to 13. What do you draw on? I said this before to you. It's a Cintiq 32. It's a Cintiq 32 by Wacom. Hello Outlaws, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I am starting thumbnails for chapter 13. I thought if I can try and get some of it digitally transferred, it's just easier for me to edit the stuff that I need to do. Specifically, again, I'm not entirely happy with the dialogue yet, but I need to have it done digitally so I can see how it flows. I think it's easier if I have it done digitally to make adjustments. Hence why I'm doing this now. Actually, yeah, 13 is fine for that font. Okay, so if we size this down. So cool, thank you, Mango. How do you publish your manga? Just wondering, because your art style is really cool. Thank you. I self-publish, so you can find a ton of printing companies out there that can print your book out for you. I'm not under a publisher or anything, and I just sell the books myself. That's what I do. So, you know, as long as you create the manga pages, like, you can very easily create a book to go out with it. Fair enough, well organised of you, thank you. Is that also, I feel like I'm a bit weird when it comes to my thumbnailing, is that I like to format all my speech bubbles before I do the art. For me, it's easier for me to see how much text is taking up the entire page then, and also to make my art work with the speech bubbles. I think, to me, that's quite important. Because it's like, now I know I can size her up and make her seem more impactful. And then I kind of want, like, the shadow of Fletcher here. We bring that down here. And then I know we kind of probably want a dark background around Aoife here. Again, Aoife is the temporary name. I have not decided on a name for her yet. AKA, she's just a previous partner of Fletcher's. In quick summary. Because she's supposed to be a kind of visual representation on how Fletcher's past relationships are always kind of ended. Okay. And then let's adjust the line weight of the speech bubbles here. So this is maybe 30. All my standard bubbles should be about 30 in brush size. How many pages are in your first volume? 216. So it's a bit longer than your average manga. But only by like 20 pages. And the second book is about 230 though. I can see how that would be helpful. Yes, yeah, it's that I feel so much better if I do all my lettering and my speech bubbles first and foremost before doing any of the proper sketching. Like, again, I should emphasize for anyone who's not familiar with my work, this is not a sketch. This is my thumbnails. So they're supposed to look kind of crap. But again, it's just to get a sense of how this entire chapter flows, more than anything else. So if I draw Fletcher here. Yeah, if you can imagine. Ooh, yeah, it's that I feel like after what Toby brought up about, or who brought it up? I think it was Judy who brought up Fletcher's past relationships last chapter. I thought it'd be good to kind of showcase why Fletcher's so lonely. So this is what the entire flashback is kind of about, apart, you know, and also kind of like the first meeting in Bath, like his first ever heist in Bath, and how he kind of encountered the CSID for the first time, and Toby and crew for the first time. This is what this entire first flashback segment's about. So also we haven't really had some alone time with Fletcher before, so I really want to do some alone time with Fletcher, because again, the last arc focused so much on Larkin. It is definitely time for a focus on Fletcher, so again, his hair is also soaking wet here. I should emphasize this. It's got completely soaked by Aoife here, spilling her drink on him. But I will know that when drawing this panel. And then we can do Aoife here. And then we can move that down there then. Okay, and then if we just put the speech bubbles in. What's the road to create webtoon, I use Clip Studio Paint. That is what a lot of artists use as their choice of software to create webcomics. That is what I'm using to create my manga. Well, that's a huge screen, not gonna lie, it is huge. It's a 32-inch screen, that's why. It's humongous. Oh yeah, and then I'm kind of like I could put that down there. Okay, I'll just pretend his ears here somewhere. And then spiky hair. This is Fletcher. I promise this is Fletcher. And then I kind of just wanted a white background here, so if I leave that blank. And then increase that size a bit. I kind of want this to have more white space around the speech bubble, because I feel like it's like there's a lot more focus on this one line from Fletcher then. Right, so if I transfer this to blue. Alright, and then we've got a super close up of Eva's face. No, pretend I don't know Eva's character design yet. I'm just gonna put Eva. I'm like, it's like the other character is just Eva. It's not Fletcher, it's just Eva. Right. Okay. So this is a thought bubble from Fletcher. So how am I gonna do that? Well, actually, I'd like to think the reader is smart enough to know that if the inner thought bubble comes out, that it must be from Fletcher. But let me find that. I think it's this one. So I bring that down. And that's gonna be a bit, quite a bit. That's quite a lot. I kind of want a smaller, yeah, like a small line brush like that. That's better. I'll go for that. Okay. Okay, and then let's go back to the normal dialogue tab. We want some wobbly balloons, please. I must have some saved. I do. So if we increase that, bring that down. Okay. Alright. Move that across a bit. Alright, and then, okay, let's adjust the line weight of this. So this needs to go to 30. And then we need to change the font here. There's, I think it's rest of the soul. There we go. And then we need to increase the font size for this as well. Probably want it on 14 to make it a bit easier for the readers to read it. Okay. Like that. Cool. Okay, let's put the what's it called? The panels in, the actual panels. So let me draw that in. So let's grab our frame tool. We're going to go over towards the edges. We're going to get rid of the white background. Excellent. And then the seam line will be going in down here. Okay, we bring that down that way. Up here. Down there. Okay, and then we want to bring these out slightly. Just otherwise the black line will bleed through onto the bleed area, which is what I really want to avoid. So I'm just going to increase it slightly so there's a bit more drawing room. Right, and then we're going to cut the frame border. So we are going to follow the guidelines down here. And then I'm going to do this one down here first. And then if we drag that across. And then cut that again. And then if we drag everything into that folder then, there we go. Now the blue lines are actually in the folder itself. Not spelling out. Okay, so let's save this page. Let's preview the double spread here to see if everything's okay. What I'm mostly looking for here is one, if the panel layout works, and two, if it kind of like the gutters or the lines kind of match up to the other page. It's like maybe I just need to change the size of one of the panels on one of the pages. I think this should be alright. Yeah, kind of see like if this was slightly higher, this would be kind of like the same length as this, right? And then that's what I wouldn't be happy with. And you know, if it was the same, then that's when I would change this panel to something either smaller or something slightly bigger. But we just avoided that problem, so that should be fine. I like the layout. And I appreciate that I've been consistent with where they are placed on the page too. So flesh is always on the right, Eve is always on the left. Okay. Thank you so much for all the follow specs, I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I said, what have you all been up to today? I said, I've been up to much. I presume some people are back to school tomorrow. I am back to work tomorrow. Actually, I'm back to doing webtoon script writing tomorrow. So I'll be back on writing for Red Aura starting tomorrow again. I've only got 4 episodes left actually with Red Aura now, which is kind of crazy because that means that we'll be almost done with episode 40 very soon, which is insane. But I'm very, very much looking forward to having a break from Red Aura for a bit, so. Right, so if we close this one. Okay, so we're going to go back to my traditional again. For people who don't know, I really did my thumbnails traditionally. This is how I always do. I always try to sketch my thumbnail. This is not focusing. Try to sketch my thumbnails traditionally. For me, it's just easier to see everything laid out side by side, right? So this is how they tend to look even on my sketchbook. Again, I know I'm achieving somewhat slightly better quality in my digital mock-ups than my traditional ones. You can see how many pages did I say this chapter's 30 is going to be? I concluded it should come to around 38 pages, which is what I was expecting. I knew this chapter was going to be a bit longer than my standard ones. But honestly, I thought it'd be 40 pages or more, but luckily it's only 38, so. But actually I need this because. Okay, yeah, okay. I know basically Aoife says at the bottom of this panel goes to hell. I might change that to something else though. But I like to avoid using hell too much in the future stuff on there. So I might think of something else for her to say there. What are we doing? We are planning out chapter 13 of my manga series. And also it's the first chapter for arc 2. So that's what we're working on currently. Basically, I'm transferring my traditional thumbnails into digital, so I can edit the script better and edit the story better. But for me, I just need it on a bigger screen to be able to do that. It's just, I can have a a mental refresh when it's done digitally. Like, I really changed some of the dialogue, even in the first 3 pages. So it really helps me out when I do it like this. Right, so let's put the dialogue down. Hello everyone, this is what I used to write my scripts on. For people who don't know, I use something called ClickUp. Again, I write my scripts traditionally, and then I transfer it digitally. But I've edited this like 6 or 7 times now. It's kind of crazy. And I'm still editing on my document. Sorry, on my Clip Studio Paint file. Okay, so this is the line that we need from Fletcher. What do you draw on? I draw on a Cintiq 32, which is by Wacom. That is what I'm drawing on. Thank you so much for all the follows, folks. I really appreciate it. I've just come back from my holiday here. It's been a conversation mostly, yep, back to school. Oh no, I'm sorry you're back to school, but I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas break. Also, your traditional sketchbooks look so neat, thank you. People who want to know the brand is Archer & Olive. I've had this sketchbook for years. I can tell you when I had this sketchbook. I've had this since 2022, so literally I had this since the start of planning the future stuff and death. Yeah, so I can't show you the start of this because there's a lot of spoilers, folks. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of ideas and concepts and stuff that I've written in that sketchbook. Yeah, it is my my idea sketchbook as such, and that's why I keep all my thumbnails. Okay, so if we get rid of that, and then this we need to copy and paste, because that's the problem, is what I want on a separate line. Copy and paste. Edit down there. I just thank you so much. Hope you had a great holiday too. Yes. I stayed at home. Had a Christmas at home this year. But yeah, had a lovely time. Thank you. I really needed a break from everything, so it's been nice. Again, it timed really nicely with me finishing arc 1 of the Future Stuff and Death 2, so I felt like I could properly rest from working on my manga for quite a bit. And also creating acrylic charms, which I've never done before, so that was fun to do as well. It's making new merchandise. Okay, I think you get rid of that bit of dialogue because I feel like you said that before. I mean, you said that like 3 times before. Okay. What other dialogue do we need in here? Okay, so Aoife says... Actually, I'll just copy paste this entire dialogue thing. So sure, I liked that so hard for a moment. I'm not too sure if I missed anything. Glad you had a good break day. Thank you. Yes, no, you didn't miss too much. And you just see me flicking back through my ClickUp and me copying and pasting it into here. And then I kind of want Eva to interrupt him. So if I copy paste that, I need to figure out the art, I think, first here before doing the speech bubbles, because I'm wondering how I'm going to shove everything up here. This is why I do my thumbnails digitally as well, because I can see how much the text is taken up. Because I want empty panels down here. I'd like 2 silent panels, and then a final speech from down here. From Fletcher, so if I push that down there. It goes down there. I think to you is better. Something like that. Maybe change the font for that final one. Okay. Let me just quickly put this into a whole folder. Lettering. Put that onto a green folder type. Thank you so much for all the likes, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all the follows. Pressure goes on for quite a bit down here, so we need enough room for him to speak. Thank you so much for the rose, I really appreciate it, and the fun, and the hammer, thank you. Thank you so much, Dreadpurse, I really appreciate it, thank you. And thank you so much for all the likes, folks, thank you, Auntie Dragon. Thank you so much, Dreadpurse, for all the roses, I really appreciate it, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I've missed drawing manga pages so badly. I know I'm still in the middle of exporting all my pages for volume 2 at the moment to be printed, but man, I need a break. I need a break from formatting volume 2. So I'm hoping this will hopefully ease me up, and then I can go soon. I'm getting the files ready for print for volume 2. But at the moment, I just need a break. Alright, so if I put that down there. Still thinking probably a layout something almost something like this. Okay. And then this is like a top-down angle, which I'll probably keep. And there's like a table between them. There is a table between them. I think this is always the table between them. And they're sitting down on chairs or something. Pretend they're sitting on chairs, folks. This is Fletcher, this is, oh, what's her name? Aoife. Right, and then, I don't know, pretend there's a bunch of, like, tables and stuff, bar, background. Imagine this clutter behind here, folks. This is when writing notes, it just makes my life so much easier. Yeah. Yeah, I think if we put the last bit of dialogue from Fletcher down there, maybe. Oh, and oh, I've got a secondary one here. I forgot about that. Let me put that down there. Some of this. I think I know what I'm trying to do here. Is like this needs to kind of come between the gutters down here. Okay. Thanks so much for all the follow space. I really appreciate it. Okay, so Aoife is chatting to Fletcher again. She is looking to her right, and we'll keep that consistent. We're kind of like speed lines down that way. She is still crying. Emphasize that she's still crying. She's like almost pleading with him in this moment. And then she starts imagine this is Fletcher's chest. She is pointing her finger directly at Fletcher here. Pretend her thumb's tucked in somewhere here. Put that down there. And that's Aoife. Alright, and then I'm not gonna draw a good grasping hand. Imagine this is Fletcher's hand. And this is Aoife still pointing her finger on Fletcher's chest. I probably need to bring that a bit more into the safe zone, so let's do that. Needs to probably come more here. And then I kind of want to make this one slightly smaller, just because everything is kind of bleeding all the way to the full edge of the page. It just helps break up the scene a bit more. And then he completely removes Aoife's hand then. So her thumb, I don't know, is doing something like this. Fletcher's hand is still down here. Aoife's down here somewhere. Aoife. This Fletcher. Okay, and then Fletcher speaks. I know I did kind of a zoom out on this thumbnail, but I think because we can see Fletcher here, I think we can just go close up straight away now. Okay, I'm doing this face too detailed. Oh, we're sticking with it. So it's too detailed for a thumbnail sketch, but who cares? Okay. Alright, and then I think we can move that down there. Okay, and then she needs to start turning her head towards the left here now. So this is the first time we have Aoife going towards the left. She's kind of doing a staring down because she's kind of getting up at the same time. And this moment I kind of imagine. Okay, she's still crying. I have to emphasize this. Otherwise I forget to draw her crying in these panels. Eva is flicking her head here. There we go. Oh, I know. No, I will remember. Okay, awesome. Right, so let's put the border in, and then let's put in the speech bubbles fully. So if we create a frame. What is the device called? It's a Cintiq 32, which is by Wacom. So that's the tablet I'm using currently. The program I'm using is Clip Studio Paint, specifically the Expert Edition of Clip Studio Paint. And that goes down there. Alright, let's move this down slightly. Move that away. Move that away. There you go. Oh, yep, that is staying put. Brilliant. Okay, so let's cut the body here. So we want it. Oh, we can cut it higher than that. We can do it here. Alright, and then that one needs to go down here. We'll go a bit more breathing room to these panels down here. And then bring that down there. Okay, and let's bring that one in. Okay. Okie dooks, okie dooks. Okay, let's figure out the speech bubbles here now. So again, we really need a shouty bubble for the last bit of dialogue here. Maybe something like this. Okay, so let's put this above the border, because we know it will be going across. I like it when it's a bit taller to space the dialogue. Okay, and then we need a slightly normal dialogue balloon from Thatcher here. So he's trying to remain as calm as possible. Again, this is such a bigger face coming through, isn't it? So 50. Oh, I'll put 59. That'll be fine. This is 30 for this, and then I kind of want this hiding underneath Effa's bubble, because I don't want Effa to interrupt Fletcher here. Right, and then I want to change the font for Effa's dialogue here. I could use what I used before, but just make it more bold. Something like that. Maybe move this up slightly. Cool. Right, and then we've got these ones up here. Gang, such as being pretty blunt. So we'll go normal dialogue bubbles here. And we gotta make sure this is kind of going down in an arc if we can. Make that bigger. Is there an extra space here? Yes, there is. Okay, there we go. I knew that speech bubble looks a bit wrong. There we go. Right, and then I think we could probably move the thumbnails a bit here as well. I think we could probably just move the table a bit more over here. Oh, and I forgot to cut a border here. Let me put that in. There we go. That would have been bad. Okay, and then this one needs to go here. Right, and then we increase this to 30. And this is also 30. And then if we get the blue pen, put that down there. Oh, these bubbles not links. 1 second. Okay, now they should be links. Right, and then put that 30. Some more trembling over here. Oh, we need to mix this with this balloon. No. I think if we just need to adjust this slightly. Thank you so much for all the follows, folks. I really appreciate it. I kind of want to move this up because I just want to make sure we can definitely see that she's poking Tetris chest in this moment. So I think just shuffling everything up just helps that a bit more. Something like that. Maybe bring this slightly more to the right. There you go. I think that's better. Okay, let me quickly just preview this. I'm just going to make sure it flows right when it's cropped a bit more. I think we can move this up. This is way too low down here, I think. This looks natural. Down here does not look natural to me. Let's move this up. Oh, we're just gonna, it's so annoy me. Yeah. Like something like here might be better. I mean, originally I was gonna have his dialogue bubble be here, but I think it makes more sense for it to be on this side for readability reasons. And I kind of wanted Eva to interrupt him anyway. Yeah, that's better moved up. Yeah, this is better. I like this reading pattern a bit more. Okay, on to the next page. We keep going strong. Right, so the next page. Okay. I don't think I originally drew Fletcher's fist slamming into the table, but I might have to add that on the thumbnails. I can't remember if I did or not. I've got like a vague memory that I forgot to do that, but so this needs to go here, and then is all of these ones. And I had to remove spoilers from the script here today, folks. Because I was looking at the script, I was like, oh, if I'm gonna live stream this, I have to remove like this note, that note, like 5 notes from my script today. God, I can't let you guys see those. Okay, so I think there's 3 sentences here. And I'll probably just these anyways. Okay. Okay, so if these need to go down here somewhere. I kind of want to add more speech bubbles down in this bottom segment. You'll see what I'm doing in a bit for it. Right, lettering. Put that into a green folder. There's a lot less dialogue in this page. What is the app called? It's called Clip Studio Paint EX. So it's the more professional version of Clip Studio Paint I'm using. Right, and then, okay, so we've got one big panel of Aoife slamming the door here. Goodbye, Fletcher's partner, ex-partner. There it goes, down there somewhere. I don't know, imagine like the door's down here somewhere. When I'm building the room design for this pub, I'll remember to put a door there. And then, it's like a slam. And then, pub background. Because we'll have more tables and NPCs and stuff here. I'm just gonna write the note. I need to do that though. Thanks so much for the follows. I really appreciate it, folks. Alright, and then actually that goes cuts off here anyway. Okay, and then we need Fletcher slamming his fist. If we put something like that, and then oh yeah, so his thumb would be on top of his knuckles, something like that. I know that's his fist. His heading table. Okay, and then we're putting it into 3 panels here, if I remember correctly. Because what was the sequence I wrote out originally? It was... Well, Fletcher has his hands on his face processing the entire situation. I think slamming his fist on the table is better to start with anyway, so that's fine. Okay. Imagine Fletcher having his hands on his face here, folks. Just pretend it's completely shit, but I know what that means. And then I kind of want a slightly more close up of hand on the face here from Fletcher. Again, I know what this means. Okay. Yeah, and then this comes off down here then. Because that opens up to a bigger panel down here. Where he slowly opens his eyes again. Cool. And then we've got like some random speech bubbles that we cannot make out yet until this bottom panel, where we kind of zoom out, such as on the table still. I don't know, I feel like he's kind of just starting to release the hands from his face. Like he's just started to tilt his face back up. Or maybe we should move the eyes down if we're doing that then. Yeah, because then I know he's looking slightly further down on the face than he usually does. So if I do his head down there. Cool. Okay, and then this is an entire black background, please. Cool. Okay. Right. So let's put in the borders here and then we'll put in the speech bubbles. But I know I need to add the 10 more speech bubbles down here, but I just need to do the dialogue. Right, if I bring that down. Remove the white background. Pull this. Oh no, that needs to go all the way down there. There we go. Okay. And it's all the way down here. Right, and then extend these out. And bring that out. There we go. Okay, awesome. And then let's move this into the folder. And then if we grab this, get something like that, put that down there, and then crop this out, merge this one upwards because we kind of want these merging into one panel. Right, and then we bring this up to here. Cool, and then I need to put speech bubbles in here. Where are you? Right, let's put that under here. Again, this is too bold. This is too bold for being small. I have like a... There we go. This is the one I need. So let's reduce the size of that. So this needs to be like 200 or something. There you go. Right, and then I need some ominous speech bubbles here. What do I use for this? Bear in mind that the background is going to be black here, LED. Gotta be smart about this. Or just like a moody background. Doesn't necessarily have to be black. Ooh, I've been asked to do a puzzle. 1 second, folks. Unable to verify. Guys, I promise I'm not a robot. TikTok, I am not a robot. Thank you. I caught it this time. It's the first time I've caught it in like the last 5 streams. Right, there you go. Hello, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Right. I could do this more smoky one. I don't know. I kind of like the more poisy one. I don't know why. I just kind of prefer it. 125. Again, we'll do some ominous fonts in a second. At the moment, it does look very scary with the font. Okay, 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 okay. I wonder. Cause I kind of want it slightly creepy. I'm just trying to think what. I might need to search for a unique font for this. I kind of want to find a unique font for just this dialogue. But that would require me looking on Blambot. Do I want to look on Blambot for this? Oh, actually, I like this one. This is probably what I'm looking for. Thank you. I'll stick with that. So that is Speeches in Cream, is it? Speeches in Cream. Because it's like slightly warped words. This is 14? 14, size 14. Excellent. Okay, let me adjust this. No, that needs to be slightly smaller. And this needs to be slightly smaller. Okay, and again, I will have more. Actually, I could do just some unintelligible ones just to fill up the space here, because it kind of needs to feel overwhelming. So let's just put some random stuff in. And I'll copy it for this speech bubble in here. Okay, and then where's my Muffy one? Where are you? It's like this. Because my readers should know what this font means. So at least I hope my readers are smart enough to know what this font means. Okay. Alright, so if I extend that down there, awesome. Awesome. Cool. Right, and then I think that should be this page thumbnailed out. Right, so let's preview this. Make sure it's not colliding with any other lines from the other page. That'll be my worst nightmare. Nope. It's all good. Nothing's lining up down here. That's good. That means the pages will be easy to read. Oh, and I just need some random speech bubbles as well, like the starting of voices. What do you do that? I could do like the little rumble voices, I guess. Something like this, maybe. Or I could do. What's the other one? I could do this one, but I've used this before for Larkin, but I mean, it wouldn't you look out of place? I think this one might be better because it's a bit stronger line weight. Again, these just need to be small anyway. Put down there. Small one there. Cool. And then I know I'm just gonna select this. And I am gonna airbrush if I can. If it lets me. Thank you. Right, okay, and then I'm just gonna put some random speech in. Something like that. Random speeching. Random speeching. Cool. Right, and then that all goes into lettering. Awesome. Okay, let's save that. Okay, and then I'll preview that again just to make sure that looks nice. 3D preview. I like that. That looks really nice. I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with that. Cool, on to the next. We'll keep going. See how much I can get done. Okay. Ooh. What did I do for this panel up here? Okay, let me get my original sketchbook out. I just need to have a look. What did I actually sketch for that? 'Cause I can't really tell on my photo. I put... Oh, I think I was just going to go into skies. I think originally I had the fist slumming down here, but I think I changed my mind. I could tell that when looking at the thumbnail again. So, right, I think we're just transitioning suddenly here. But it was a page flip, that's why I was doing it. So it was going to be like this. And that goes down there. And then that goes down here. I didn't use all the space when doing the thumbnails for this page, I don't think. It seems pretty empty. There you go, bring that. I don't know. There, so we've got some clouds going down here. What device am I using? I'm using a Cintiq 32 HD. So that's by Wacom. And the program I'm using is Clip Studio Paint EX. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so if we draw that down there. Okay, let me put the speech bubbles in, because we are at the carriage, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. So it'd be where to, sir? Barty's mate. The night is young. Okay, I don't really need them. I think I was going to get rid of that. But please, mate. And then purchases in the carriage and thinks for himself this line. Appease poetry. There you go. Hello, welcome to the live stream. For people who don't know what I'm doing right now, I am thumbnailing out chapter 13 of my manga, aka it's the start of arc 2 of my manga, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. So this is why all my sketches are complete crap at the moment, folks. For me, it's just so I'm able to visualize how this entire chapter is gonna kind of look, and make sure it flows nicely from a story perspective, and also edit dialogue as well on the go, things like this. So this is why I'm not too worried about my drawing quality at the moment. But if you're wondering why my drawing abilities is not how it usually is, that is why. Because I'm not being too picky with it at the moment. I kind of want to put the carriage here, maybe put the horse here. I can't draw a horse in memory. Crack horse. Imagine there's a horse. Okay, and this is carriage. Don't think I spelled carriage right. Anyway, this is a carriage. You have a gent sitting on the carriage up here. Sitting down there, however a carriage looks like when you're sitting down on it. Okay, he has whatever here. Okay, and then we have the pub, and we have Fletcher walking out of the pub. There you go. Oh, we should probably give him a head, so I'll just call him D for driver. Okay, the moon is out now. You know, the sunset has come and gone. It's getting later in the night. There you go. Where do you publish it? I publish it on Webtoon Canvas, Manga Plus Creators, and Global Comics, but I also have a physical release as well of Volume 1 and very soon Volume 2. Volume 2 is in production at the moment, so people will be able to buy that very soon. So there's 4 places where you can read my manga. Webtoon Canvas, Manga Plus Creators, Global Comics, or you can buy a physical edition. Those are the 4 places. Thank you so much for sharing the live, folks. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I can show you guys my manga pages real quick. If you guys haven't seen my TikTok page, Volume 2 files to all. I must have to. How do I know? I'm pretty sure I exported it. Or be imprinting, that's why. Well, like I said, I have the pages exported. It just needs to be formatted, that's all. Yeah, so this is kind of how my work looks like when I'm not doing thumbnails, folks. This is what my finished pages tend to look like. These pages are in colour, these are just in grayscale at the moment. But yeah, this is my latest chapter. This is chapter 12. There's so much I've drawn for chapter 12. Chapter 12 is very long. Again, I haven't done Larkin yet this chapter. He will appear in chapter 13, I should emphasise this. We're just having a short flashback sequence with Fletcher at the moment. Which Fletcher's the other character here, that's who I'm drawing at the moment. Yeah. There you go. Do you have a list of the sites? Yeah, if you click on the link in my bio, you can see the entire list of where you can read it. if that's what you'd like to go and do. You find all the links in the link in my bio. Right. Right, and then we kind of want Fletcher climbing into, how do I draw him climbing into the carriage? It's like he has one leg going up. Okay, it doesn't need to be carried. It's kind of as I know what he's doing. And I'm just realising we probably... yeah, so we want Fletcher kind of coming in this side instead. And then the dialogue to be here, and Fletcher being here. And then, I don't know, the carriage rider is like up here somewhere, sitting down. I don't know, I can't remember how our carriage looks like. This is just a carriage. I'll just, as long as I kind of know what I'm looking at, that's the main thing. And then this guy is turning his head around. this is driver, this is Fletcher. And then Fletcher is kind of peeking out the door. He's doing like a little grin or something. And then he's gonna flick a coin towards the driver. Like, this is like a money sign. It will be some sort of form of currency, I'll put there for him. There you go, and then put that down there. I don't know if we can like pretend there's like trees or something down here. I have to actually look around Corsten to know what that environment is behind him here, but yeah. Oh. It's still young. Actually, we can keep this in. It's a little bit of dialogue. We can have Fletcher starting to settle into the carriage here, and then we can have his inner thoughts in a second. How do I draw? Again, without reference, it's hard, but again, these are just thumbnails, so I'll find references later down the line when I'm actually sketching this thing for real. Okay, I don't know. Carriage scene. I'll figure out what this carriage looks like inside in a bit. Inside carriage. If you can send my guest request, I can show you mine. I would love to hear your thoughts. I will have a look at my DMs after stream. I can't guarantee if I can read it right this evening, unfortunately, since it's quite late for me here in the UK. But I'll try and read your DM at some point. Where's my standard dialogue bubbles? So we'll put the normal speech bubble size in. So if we put 30 for the size. Alright. I think we could do that, and then I think actually I've kind of extended the scene onto the next page for another 2 panels, but I think I can cut those and just have them all on this one page. I think just be as smooth as transition if I do it all on here. Thank you so much for the follow, folks. I really appreciate it. Right. Alright, and then we kind of want this as a port. Actually, I don't want it as a speech. I don't want the the carriage rider to as a carriage driver to this in a port. Oh dear. Where is it? Like this. Okay, and then if we bring this down to like 100. Okay, that's too small. 200. 250. Yeah, 250. I think we can bring that down maybe. There you go. I think that's more flash. I like to do it more like this. Okay. And then if you drag that down that way. Okay. Okay, and then Iron Fletcher with his inner force staff. Cool. Awesome. Just indicate that's Fletcher's hair. He is sitting down. Boop 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 boop. Awesome. Alright, so let me shove this all into a folder. So let's call this lettering. Right, make that green. Awesome. Okay, and then let me create a folder here. Alright, let's delete the right background. Nice. Okay. Bring that down here. Extend these other edges. Awesome. Okay, and then let's crop this. So let's cut the border here, 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 there, there, and also here. But I will merge that one to here. Well, actually, you know what I could do? I wonder if it's gonna let me do it. No, it's not. Okay, 1 second. Let me select just this one. You're not gonna let me put it under. Okay, 1 second. Let me copy paste this. So delete that. Paste that back in. Click on this, and then I should be able to show it under. There we go. That's what I needed to do. There we go. And then we can extend it down there. There we go. And then bring that down that way. I think something offshoot like that. Great. And bring that down there. Right down there. Cool, and then if you shove this all into the folder now. I'm just going to shove that down a bit more. So reduce that. I might have to adjust this page in a bit, but I'll just save that for now. Thanks so much for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's have a look. Cool. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Okay, let's save that. Let's close the other pages down. How are you feeling? What's the software? It's Clip Studio Paint EX. You need the expert edition of Clip Studio Paint to do the 3D preview thing. If you don't have it, then you can't use it. So you do need EX for it. It's really handy if you want the preview on the pages and stuff. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna readjust these pages a bit. What's quite nice is that I have more room to do the build up before the heist here. So let's do that. So we kind of want maybe a slight angle of like the carriage. Imagine this is the carriage. The horses are down here like walking or something. And they are in the city of Bath. Whatever. We can put literally a caption above saying Bath here. Oh, actually, we don't need to indicate Bath. We know we're in Bath. We could literally just say it. But maybe we should put Bath though, just to make it extra clear. Thank you so much for all the follows, folks. I really appreciate that. Right. Right, so what is Fletcher's dialogue here? Oh yeah, it's all of this. Yeah. Okay, that's... Bring that down that way. Right, let's delete this. I kind of like say missing for 10 years is might be better than the same decade. Not 10 days, 10 years. There you go. And then trembling diamond powers. So we probably want him to start talking here. Bring that all the way down. Kind of want to spread this dialogue all across this first page. Because there'll be caption boxes from Thatcher. What is this museum called again? I forgot. I wrote it down because it comes up later. What's it called? Mr. Levine. What is it called? Oh, Holborns. That's it. Holborns. Holborns. So how do I spell that? Holborns. It's kind of like in the middle of the garden. Like there's a bunch of trees. They're going down Great Portnary Street, and then the building of the museum. It's kind of like down there. It's something like that. This is Ref Holborn Museum. Probably want some sort of signage saying on drum balance. I don't know, there's like a door here. I can't remember what the museum looks like from the outside. I do apologise. And then we kind of want Fletcher sneaking around. I don't know, he's gonna like, I don't know, maybe behind some bushes. I might think of objects, maybe even for him to go behind. Again, I need to look at the whole Holborn outside. Holborn Museum. Yeah, because it looks like this. And then it's got gates like this. I was kind of on, my memory was serving me pretty well actually. Okay. Yeah, so we kind of want like the gates, so the main pathway to the actual building, maybe down there. We have big trees in the way and things, and Fletcher is sneaking past. Fletcher, like we see maybe members of the public in the distance or something. Okay, and then I think I have him starting to break into the building, if I remember correctly. Then my thumbnails weren't very clear on my photographs. I'm just going to double check in my actual sketchbook. Yeah. Oh, it goes down here. Yeah, it's like he pieces something to get, yeah, so he should find a window. And he's kind of like pushing. He's kind of like making sure there's no one behind him or something. I need to kind of show that he's being careful. So I can do this in my more detailed sketches. But I don't know, he could be pushing something or he could just be looking around. I'll figure this out when we get closer to the time. Anyways, there is like a big window or something up here. And he needs to get to it. Something like this. Again, I'll figure out. I just need any proper reference of the building. And then, how did I draw this? 'Cause I quite liked how I drew it from my thumbnails from what I remember. Yeah, he's here. He is reaching up towards the ledge. And then he is crouched. With having like a little window scene here. He is using his magic to pick along this. Using magic to pick lock. Thank you, Fletcher. Light. And then you put that in. Excellent. Alright, and then let's create a frame. Ooh, let me just quickly change my music. I don't like this song. Can I put a good song on, please? There we go. Thank you. Right. So if we bring that down there. Right, and then bring that down. Right, and then if we cut the border up here, and maybe we can have a slight angle actually. Because it is a bit more of an action-y scene. Right. If I may, in Paris. In Paris, for the client's grandmother. To adjust some of the dialogue here because I don't think I've made it very clear what he's searching for. Contains a yes. Maybe its main feature ... and then we do trembling flowers. This is Gilead's Untremblant, missing for 10 years. It was late, and then we put like ... in 1930s Paris, for the client's grandmother. Contains, or it contains, nature motifs, and then maybe, and its main features, trembling diamond flowers. I've already read that. I think that sounds more eloquent from Fletcher's part. If I phrase it like that. Mrs. Gilead Untremblant. For the last 10 years. Let's make this slightly longer. Okay, and let's find our narration box. We just want like a simple square one if we can find it. It's like a little caption box we need. I don't tend to use square boxes, but for this, it's a rare occasion that I do need some square boxes. Tremblant. For the last 10 years, it was made with the client's grandmother. Yeah, there we go. Close this up slightly. Contains and Its main features trembling diamond, or flowers, I should say. Diamond flowers. Diamond flowers, and that just leaves one full stop not. An ellipsis picture. Oh, and the main feature. Main feature, trembling diamond flowers. So I think because I use it here, I've just changed it slightly. Awesome. Right, and then if I shove the dialogue all into one folder then, lettering, shove that in there. And the main feature. Maybe I'll put its main feature. Maybe put jewelry instead. Just changing some of the dialogue. This is why I do transfer my stuff digitally. This is why I like working my sketchbook and then transferring to it digitally. Just because now I notice all of these things that I wouldn't notice if I didn't have to do the extra step of transferring everything digitally. This is exactly why. Right, save that. Let's preview this. I really like the flow of this chapter. It's flowing really nicely at the moment. I thought it might be a little rushed, but actually it's alright at the moment. It helps that I managed to fit everything onto this one page instead of it being spread onto these two. It makes this part feel like it has more build up. Right, I might pause it here today though, folks, because it is late and I need to have a shower. So I will finish, well, I don't know if I'll finish it tomorrow because I've got a webtoon meeting tomorrow to do with Red Aurora, so that will be all to do with script writing for the webtoon project, so it means that the Thieves Stuff and Death. I don't know when I'll touch it next. Probably Tuesday evening, which would be really annoying because I'm so invested in getting this transferred up, but I need to have a break and a shower, otherwise I'm not going to feel nice. I need to wash my hair and things. But yeah, they said thank you so much for everyone who's watched tonight. If you don't know, you can read The Thieves Stuff and Death and the entirety of the first arc of The Thieves Stuff and Death online on Webtoon Canvas, Manga Plus Creators, Global Comics, or if you prefer a physical book, I have volume 1 out that you can buy, and I will be releasing volume 2 very soon, which should wrap up the first arc. Again, what I'll be working on today is the first chapter for the second arc. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who's joined me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!